Yay! We've got to Paraguay. We are going to be in Paraguay for probably 36 hours, so it's a quick drop over the border so that we could get from Brazil to Paraguay since we were so close, and we want to find out what Asuncion is all about, and we're going to share it with you. First things first though, just to let you know, getting over to Paraguay was really simple, to be honest with you. We got a bus, we got in on Brazil side, the bus driver then pulls you over, you walk across a road, you go to a little booth, show them your passport, they stamp it, and then you get back on the bus. The bus then takes you over the border into Paraguay, and you do exactly the same thing again in Paraguay, but a bit more serious, I think, in Paraguay. Do you think?
He didn't even look at me.
Oh, well, he looked at me.
I wonder why.
And stamped the passport, and then we got back on the same bus, and then we did about 5-minute ride, and then we pulled into the bus station, and then we had to get onto another bus. I was really worried about that, thinking how will we know what bus to get on, but actually it's really, really simple, and people really help you because they can see that you're a tourist and that you need help. So it was simple. So that's it. So we'll have a day in Asuncion, and we'll take you around with us. Here we are at the Palacio de Lopez, which is the palace. It's one of the most iconic and recognisable buildings in Asuncion. It now serves as the workplace for the President of Paraguay, and it's also the seat of the government of Paraguay. So lots of people are working in there today. It's been recently painted pink, and it's illuminated at night, which apparently is really lovely because it shows off its new colours and also the neoclassical architectural features. All the people that you can see there now are all the workers. You're not allowed into the palace, unfortunately. So we've walked down from the palace, and over behind Stuart you've got the river. We might go down there. There's a beach. Paraguay is landlocked, but it does have beaches apparently, and families do come down here. But yeah, so you can see the palace there. These are first impressions of Asuncion. I mean, it's a beautiful day, it's really hot and sunny. There were guards and police everywhere, as you would expect around the palace. In terms of a centre, we haven't yet found it. We're actually down sort of in the old town, but we're just doing the exploring bit, I guess. But I think what we have got is the Asuncion sign, so I'm sure we'll be having a few photographs outside of there. But yeah, not sure at the moment, but we'll follow today through and see what we find. The Cathedral of Asunción is literally in the heart of the downtown part of the city. It dates from 1845 and it was named after the patron saint of the city. Scanning across, you'll see behind us there's a bar called the Lido Bar. If any of you have ever been to Poland, they're very similar to sort of milk bars. They're very local, very cheap, do great local foods. Lots of office workers and workers in general tend to use them. We would have gone in, but we had quite a big breakfast this morning, so we're not quite ready to eat yet, but let's go into the cathedral and have a look. Unfortunately, I can't take you into the cathedral today because it's actually closed at the moment, which is a real shame because I have actually seen people vlogging it and it does look really, really pretty inside. But hey, we'll go over now to the Pantheon of National Heroes. in the heart of Asuncion, you've also got the Pantheon of National Heroes. It's a historic edifice in the heart of downtown. And if you look, the domed chapel houses the remains of President Grand Marshal Francisco Solano Lopez. And he led his country in the War of the Triple Alliance 160 years ago, which I really never knew anything about, which was between, I believe, Uruguay and Brazil as well. It's definitely worth a visit. It's completely free. And there are other things that you can do while you're down here. If you want to go shopping, there's museums, quite a few of them about. There's a lovely park as well that you can go into, and you can also grab a lunch and grab a drink. So definitely worth us going in and having a look. It's really hard to think that in this building there are the remains of national heroes. It's quite a sombre place really in here, because it's like a mausoleum. So obviously down there are the remains of the heroes of Paraguay. So the Pantheon de los Heroes. It's a really, really cool building, as you would imagine, with all the stone and artwork. It's something quite special actually to come in and have a look at. And as I say, it's completely free, and you've got the guards outside, and I think it's here that do the changing of the guards as well at 10 o'clock every morning if you wanted to see them.
If you want to know more about the history of Paraguay, there's plenty of these information boards dotted around the Pantheon. They're written in both Spanish and in English and give a really good insight as to what's happened in the past and the key figures that have played major parts in the history of this great country.
Suppose it comes to me. So we've had a lovely lunch at a restaurant called Bolsi, famous restaurant in Paraguay. Famous restaurant, in Asuncion, that has been in the same family for 3 generations and was there since 1960. Food was excellent, and I think we've actually shown you some of that earlier on. After that, we decided that we'd come to the shopping malls to see what all the fuss is about, because we hear lots of people talking about the shopping malls in Paraguay. People cross over the borders to get to Paraguay to do their shopping from Brazil and Argentina. It probably is just due to the duty free, and I know that's going to be obvious to a lot of people, but we thought we'd come in and see what the prices were like. But actually the prices were all in dollars, and it was no different than at home, and probably because obviously the exchange rate for us isn't that great. So it was nice. I mean, it was Shopping del Sol. It's meant to be the number one in Asuncion to come to. It had very top end shops. Longchamp was in there.
Hugo Boss.
Yeah, Hugo Boss. All of the top brands were there, but just for us, it was a bit disappointing, if I'm honest. So that's our trip to Asuncion. So a city that is probably up and coming. You've got brand new buildings being built. You've got old buildings that are falling down, run down. It's very different. So come and make your own mind up about whether you like it. For us, it was definitely worth coming to see, and because we were so close to it, it definitely was worth it. And that's us. Over and out, I think, Stuart. Over and out.